Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you to Tabletop Simulator with The Godfather: Corleone's Empire, published by Common Games, or COMON, and designed by Eric Lang. This is an area control game in which players represent mafia families attempting to secure the most money in their secret briefcases by the end of the game. The game takes place over 4 acts and is set during the events of either the book or the first movie, depending on which one you prefer more. Each act takes place over the course of 5 phases. The first phase of every new act, we put out a new business. This is a new worker placement spot where you can get some things and get resources. We then actually play the game. We do the heart of the phase, what's that phase called again? It is called the family business phase. We'll skip this and come back to it. Next is the turf war phase, where we decide who controls which turfs. Then it's the bribery phase, where we try to convince an ally to join us. And then finally we tribute to the Dawn and discard all the cards over our hand limit, which in the first act is Thief. Let's talk about family business, because that is the heart of the game. That's where most of the game will take place. Players take turns completing one of 4 actions. Yes, one of 1 action. First things first, they could play one of their thugs. Thugs go in the front part of any business. Only 1 thug per space. They go there and they get whatever the benefit is. This could include suitcasing some money, which is the way that money will count towards your points at the end of the game. It could mean getting resources to complete jobs. It could even getting more jobs, or just flat out getting money. The second thing they could do is they could play their family member. At the beginning of the game, we each only have 1. We'll have up to 3 by the end of the game. Family members go in these circular spaces, and they shake down the back. So, like, a family member there would get to suitcase a card, get some guns, and get a job card. Pretty straightforward, hope that makes sense. The third option is to play an ally. We don't have any allies for the first part of the game. That won't be till the end of the act. You play it out of your hand and you get some benefit. In this case, you get $2. Last, but certainly not least, you can complete a job. Jobs have a certain cost on the left-hand side of the card. You need that number of goods, which is either whiskey, blood money, or guns. In this case, if you pay 2 whiskey bottles, you can put 3 money cards into your suitcase, and you get 2 more $2 cards. That's it. A turn, the family business phase ends when everyone has spent all of their workers. Then we move on to the next phase, and we go from there. That's how the game is played. Very straightforward, and yet I've already screwed it up twice. That's why I'm glad I have these 2 weeks between videos now. Or week between videos, because I need it sometimes. I need it quite desperately. So let's get started. Red has the horse's head, which means they're the first player. I don't know why they did this. It is not 2 cats. It's actually a gun. It's actually a police car. I don't know where that comes from. But yeah, it's a police car. It's not 2 cats. But here we are. So, there's also 2 public jobs, which are a car bomb and a drive-by shooting. So guns are going to be at a premium, probably. Red wants whiskey. And there's only... Oh, no. Always do things in the correct order. First, we put out a new business, and it's going to go into the 1 space. And that will be the Meats Building, which lets you get a $2 and suitcase a gun, or suitcase a card. That's very powerful. But Red needs whiskey. There's only 1 place to get whiskey at this point in the game, the Upper West Side. We're going to send out a thug, and we're going to get ourselves a bottle of booze. Done. So Purple's going to start thinking long term. Controlling Wall Street, this is going to be an incredibly sexy location to get a hold of. So I think purple starts out not with the thug, but with their family member. They're going to come over here. He gets a suitcase, 2 cards. Yes, please. The suitcase, a 3 and the 2. He then gets some guns. And he gets another job. Oh, there we go. Back to red. Red wants more whiskey in order to get the backroom deal. So that's what red's going to do. The question is, where does red place their dom? Central Park is a way to suitcase goods. But once you place a backroom deal, it's going to get the suitcase 3. Actually, no, it does make sense to come here. So he gets another bottle of whiskey. Or booze, rather. And he gets a suitcase, 2 cards. He's going to suitcase the 3 and the 2. And that's him done. Back to the purple list of players. Realistically, purple would be over the moon to grab 3 blood money. It is highly unlikely that that will happen, though. That's just the breaks this round. But he still wants to make sure he gets at least one. So he's going to go over there and get some blood money. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, dunsy. So red is going to complete a job. They're going to spend 2 booze in the hall. They get 2 2s. And they put this card in their suitcase. Because, depending who's completed certain jobs, they get a bonus. He can take 2 money cards from his hand in suitcase, and we're going to suitcase both of his 2s. Dunzo. Back to purple. Purple's going to come over to Queens. To the Calvary Cemetery. He's going to turn this $1 card and the car bomb. No, the drive-by shooting, because the drive-by shooting is stupid with only 1 player. And he's going to get a $5 card. So he's going to make some Mooney. Red still has 2 more thugs to place. Wall Street is going to be important, and I don't want to let purple have it without a fight. So I think we're going to come over to here and take a job card. It's another shakedown. That's whatever, I guess. Purple says, fine, I'll come over to here instead. I'll get $2 and I'll suitcase my $5 card. Red gets 1 more worker. The question is, which neighborhood would you like to try to move in on? The accounting office is powerful. It's another way for people to suitcase stuff. As a business, it kind of sucks right now, though. Like, there's not a lot of gains to be made there. The gun dealership means that nobody gets it, and it's not like he won't need guns. So I think he's going to go to the dealership and get himself a gun. Okie dokie. So both sides have finished. We can finish the Family Business Act. Next we do the turf war. So beginning with the lowest number, we count the number of figures in the area. Every figure is worth 1. So in this case, we have the purple Don and a purple thug versus a red thug. Purple gets control of Wall Street. Brooklyn. Purple has something there. Red doesn't. Purple gets Brooklyn. Upper West Side. That very much belongs to red with 1, 2. Oh, actually, the Upper East Side should have been first, and then Queens. So the Upper East Side is actually empty, and Queens just has the one, so purple gets Queens. Red gets Midtown. No, they don't. No one gets Midtown. Because this guy counts for being in both places. So that nothing happens there, and nothing happens in Chelsea. Because the purple Dawn and the red Dawn count each other out. Now we're going to bribe. We take money out of our briefcases in order to bid on the ally. I gotta be honest, this is a crappy ally. $2 isn't nothing, obviously. It's basically free money, and money is points at the end of the game. I get it. It sucks. Like, if you could win it for $1, that would be worthwhile. Because you'd at least make a profit the future turn, and you make a decent profit later on. Does Red have $1 in his briefcase, though? He does not. He'll bid 2. And this is a secret bid. It comes from your briefcase. I am damn sure not spending more than 2 is purple. And I think purple would rather just keep their money. So purple's going to secretly bid nothing. Which means red loses their $2 and they get an ally. Okay, next we do tribute to the Dawn. If you have more than 5 cards, you have to discard down to 5. Red has 5, purple has 5, the Dawn gets nothing. Now we do the interact. So that means workers come home. Do note, in a 3, 4, or 5 player game, you only get 2 thugs. It's only in the 2 player game that you get 3 thugs. Let's go there now so I don't get mixed up. Purple comes home. Oh, we would refill the job market if there were any, but there aren't. Other jobs just stay out there. Act 2 allies. We get... Drumroll roll, please. The police evidence manager. For every turf you control, you get an illegal good. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Also very illegal, maybe? I don't know. So we advance the act marker. We now unlock our second family members. Our consigliaries are now available to us. Tribute to the Dolomite is still 5. And we go back to the front and we place out a business in number 2. And it is Penn Central Railroad. Get a job and $2. Okay. Cool story, bruh. Bruh. Anyway. Now we move on to family business. So, now that we have control markers out, let me explain why control markers matter. They're points at the end of the game. But more importantly, if you shake down the front of a business that has your opponent's control marker in it, they get to do it for free. So a gun would be good, whiskey would be good, blood money would be good. They're gonna go get some whiskey. And that's their turn done. Oh, also red can always play their ally at any time. Purple. Keeping Brooklyn and Wall Street is definitely a smart strategy, but for right now, I don't see the rush. I think it's more important to get more blood money, so they're going to go to the Korean laundry to launder money. And done. So, an easy thing to forget about, which seems a bit strange, right? This is an area control game. It's forgetting about the area control part of the game. Red placing somebody here would be good later on in the turn, but right now it's not very smart because I don't have enough to actually deal with. They need blood money and they need whiskey. If they want to get if they want to unlock a shakedown, they want blood money and they want whiskey. That's suitcasing and the money. That's not terrible, but the problem is any money I gain, I'd only get $1 at most, and that just seems silly to me. Getting suitcase heavy right now just doesn't make sense. So I think we go over to... Oh, that's actually really clever. Yeah, we're gonna go there. Yes, I would get to suitcase my $1. I guess I'll do it because there's no reason not to do it. But then I get another job, I get a second job, and I get the blood money. So we're gonna do this and then 2 jobs. Another shakedown, but more importantly, it's the can't refuse job, which is a pretty strong job. Purple needs that blood money. They really want to get intimidation because it's just free control markers anywhere they want. So that basically forces them to go here. So we'll send the Dawn up there. They get a job card and they get blood money. And they get to suitcase a card. They will happily suitcase their $2. Done. Back to red. Red's going to go ahead and play their hired muscle, because why not, and get $2. That's red done. Purple is going to discard 3 blood money. Get 2 $3 cards. And play intimidation to get a control of any turf they want. Control of Chelsea would be really good. That just further puts the screws to red if they ever decide to try to suitcase. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it over here. Done. Back to red Aru. Can't refuse isn't terrible. Plus it gets them $3. I think we're going to do that. So play my booze, get my $3. Play can't refuse. So Pearl's got to discard a card. Now here's the interesting thing. If they discard the gun, guns can't be suitcased. That's not how suitcasing works. So I could just discard the gun and then red gets nothing. But then I'm losing a resource. They could suitcase a job that way, though, and that's pretty wild. Because they suitcase the job, they basically get the bonus at the end of the game. They don't get the benefit, but... So I think, honestly, suitcasing, discarding the car bomb makes sense. And then red could choose to suitcase it, which they shall. Because remember, it just says suitcase the card. It doesn't say it has to be a money card. It just says suitcase a card. That basically counts as a job that red completed, even though red didn't actually complete a job. So that's good for red. Purple. Purple doesn't have a way to get any more blood money right now. But they do have a much deeper concern. Which is, of course, making sure they keep Wall Street. And Brooklyn if they can. The Meats building sounds like a perfect place to go. So I get $2, and I get to suitcase a card. I'm going to suitcase a $3 card. Note, you'd have to tell your opponent what card you're discarding before you put it directly in your suitcase. They have to know what you put in there. If red can get some booze, it can complete a shakedown. And moving into Chelsea does seem like a smart play, right? I mean, the alternative would be going here to get Chelsea, Midtown, but then Central Park. You know what? We're going to go over to... No, because I want the whiskey. So I have to go either here or here. And I think I'd rather go up top. Because that then unlocks the possibility of maybe taking the Upper East Side. It locks down the Upper West Side. And I still get a whiskey, $1, and I get to suitcase. And my suitcase is $3. Done. Purple. I mean, the Penn Central Railroad does make some sense. It would get me a job and $2. But nobody's moving into Midtown at all, which is very interesting. And I think that's a possible opportunity. So we're going to go to Midtown, and we're going to take a gun. Let's only see one gun away from completing a drive-by shooting. Or I could just play the car bomb, drive-by shooting next turn, and the car bombing next turn. And that's quite nice. Okay, red is going to spend 1 Boozerino, 1 gun, 1 blood money. They're going to do shakedown, so first they get a 5. And they get to shake down the front of any one business. Now, note, if they shook down the front of the accounting office, purple would still get to do the thing. They'd still get to briefcase. Getting another whiskey makes sense. That gets me down the path to completing more shakedowns in the future, so I think we'll do that. So, I could go ahead and play the public drive-by shooting. I'd only get to kill 1 figure, but I would get money for it. And most importantly, I can stop red from stealing control of shit. Because it is gunned down 1 figure. Which means it could be a thug or a family member. And if I take him out, that leaves the Upper East Side open for me. Plus purple could then use a future... Oh no, I can't ever take that, but... I just think it makes sense. I mean, the alternative would be to take him down, the Don down, and then then I can move their next turn. That makes a lot of sense. That's what we're going to do. So you spend 2 Gunnerinos, 2 Shooty Boys. I get... What did I do here? Oh, I put that on top of there. That was silly of me. This gets put into his suitcase. And we're going to go... Brrr. Dead. That's supposed to be a Tommy gun. That's accurate, I think. It's not accurate. I'm full of it. So red's got 2 thugs left. And as much as it pains me, I kind of think we need a suitcase. Which means going to the accounting office. That just feels wrong to me. But I think we have to do it. Because $5 is $5. It also could mean that we end up getting Chelsea at the end of the turn. Unless purple reacts. So that's not nothing. But purple does get to suitcase as well. Because they control that turf. It is now purple's turn. They've got just their consigliere left. Oh, I want more blood money, but I don't want red to take Chelsea. Maybe red taking Chelsea is not the end of the world. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Because I'll still have a firm control on Wall Street, and that gives me a place to get money and suitcase. So we're gonna suitcase our $2 first. We're then gonna get 2 job cards and some blood money. And 2 jobs. That's a good one. I like Can't Refuse. That's a very sneaky card if you can get it. Red only has a thug. If I only had a thug. Oh wait, I do. I know it's not the sexiest play, but I think they're gonna go up to the pawnbroker here. I mean, going to Queens would help them with hand management, which just feels wrong. And they're just going to take $1, which they'll then just discard, and then that'll be that. So red and purple are done with family business. Let's do turf war. So, purple has 1, 2. Red has 1, 2. No, 1, 2. Red has 0, so purple puts another token on top. Brooklyn has 1, 2, 3. Purple keeps Brooklyn. Upper East Side has 2 red. That is now red's domain. Queens has 1. That makes it purple. Joe, you do stacked additional markers on top. That is quite important. Upper West Side stays red. Midtown becomes purple, because only purple is there. Chelsea, however, does become red. So Chelsea now belongs to the red family. Okay, next we're going to do some bribery. So, interesting question. This could be a very powerful thing to have, but it's more valuable to purple than it is to red. Because purple has more areas right now. But the question becomes, would red like to bid this up just so purple can't have it? Red is 100% going to bid at least 6. I think it's at least that worthwhile. And that's red done. That's 4 free goods of their choice. How much is that worth to them? Four free goods without getting anything is so powerful. And here's the thing. Purple has no idea how much red bid. No, red could have bid nothing. So the question is, what is it worth it to him? It's 4 goods without playing one of your family members. That basically lets you complete any job you want. Or multiple jobs. I think it's worth $8 at least. I'm going to discard 2 3s and a 2. I think spending more than that would probably be foolish for purple. We reveal our bids. Purple says I bid 8. Red says I bid 6. But red's money goes right back in the suitcase. Purple's money gets discarded. And purple has their first ally. Which goes right into their hand. Now red recovers theirs, and it is now time to decide who to give to the Dawn in tribute. Red's going to give 1 shakedown because he doesn't need 2 of them. That's a bit silly. It's a bit wasteful, and he's going to give up $1. Brings down to 5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Purple. The car bomb goes because there's a public car bomb. And $2 goes. Okay. That is the Turn to the Dawn phase completed. Next we do interact. We get all our people back. No one actually stays dead, by the way. They just come back. What it really does is it kicks them out and doesn't let them reuse that figure. That's really the point of gunning someone down in this game. As always, if you caught making a giant goose, do let me know in the comments. Give me a timestamp, and I will appreciate that. And I'm sure the future viewers will appreciate it as well. I've done everything in Interact, but... Oh, I need to refill the job market. It's the classic Tick the Cannoli. And we need to put out our Act 3 ally, which is the Hollywood producer, which gets you $5 for every turf you have. Oh my stars, that is a good card. And then we advance the turn marker. And this goes back to the beginning. My friends, I need to take a short break. I will be back momentarily. I am back, my friends. So, we begin, of course, by placing a new business. It's going to go into part 3, the Upper East Side, right here. Let's shuffle, and we have found the Federal Reserve, where you could turn 3 cards into a 3 and a 5. That's pretty potent, actually. Okay. Family business time, beginning, of course, with red, for they have the horse's head. Okay. What does red want to accomplish this turn? Red would definitely like to try to get an edge here. And taking a gun will let them complete the Take the Cannoli job, which is definitely not a bad job to start out with, so I think they're going to start there. Wall Street is prime real estate. We're going to get a gun, a job card, and a suitcase 2 cards. We'll suitcase the 2 and the 1. Done. Purple. Purple isn't going to get more than 4, so they're going to go ahead and play their ally first. And what do they want? They definitely want to complete another intimidation. That's just awesome. So they're going to take 2 blood money, for sure. Then probably a whiskey to complete the can't refuse job. And probably a gun for the 4th good. So that's my turn there. Intimidation is so good. Just getting able to just take over a business, a turf for free is pretty awesome. If we're going to do a shakedown, we need some blood money. That does unfortunately benefit purple, but sacrifices must be made, I suppose. You get a blood money, and then purple also gets a blood money. To which purple says, thank you very much. Purple is now going to complete the intimidation job. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 2 3s. I get to add a control marker to any one turf. I'm gonna need some new jobs, but I can get those pretty easily in either Brooklyn or in Wall Street. I'm gonna need... Going to Chelsea seems kind of pointless, but maybe that's the right call. A stranglehold on whiskey does sound pretty tempting. Even if I don't want whiskey right now, the fact that... Yeah, I think I will do that. So, you may have noticed, hey, wait a minute, Abby, you seem to be out of them. That is correctamundo. I am indeed. So what does that mean in the future? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you want to take control over a new turf, they can remove a control marker that's already on the board and put it somewhere else. That's how that works. Otherwise, if I've already have it, I can just choose not to add a marker to it. Because it's already mine. This is... No, this has to be in the correct order. That's fine. It looks purple enough. Anyway, so that is my turn as purple. Red could do a shakedown. I don't see why they would right now. Forcing purple to take extra actions so that I can see what they're doing. Stalling here seems perfectly valid to me. I'm going to go ahead and take my $2 from my hired muscle. Oh, whoopsie. That's $2, not $2. Or 4, as it's called in the biz. So right now, red is threatening me at Wall Street. And I really want more jobs anyway, so I think the burst move here is to come over here. That's going to get me 2 jobs. Blood money. So blood money, 2 jobs. And what else? And I get to suitcase one of these $3 cards. Coup. That's purple done. Red. Take the cannoli only kills a thug, and there are no thugs out, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. I've got to try to get control of neighborhoods. That's a real issue that we've got right now. And taking queens, which will get into business next turn, is pretty smart. So we're going to come over to here. And we're going to get a gun and a suitcase R2. That's easily done. Back to purple. So purple could do a shakedown. They could do can't refuse. Or they could do take the cannoli. And, like, kicking them out of Brooklyn so that there's no chance I can lose it is pretty valuable, but I don't have to rush. A shakedown wouldn't be a bad call. But can't refuse is a really powerful card. The other thing to do, perhaps, would be to go ahead and do a family member so I could shake down a couple of cards. Like if I go here, $1, $3, a gun and suitcase. That makes sense. Let's do that. So we're gonna get $3, $1, a gun, and I get to suitcase 1 card. I'm gonna go ahead and suitcase the 3. That's purple done. Red. So no point in doing a shakedown yet. I want to think about places I'd like to gain control of, or keep control of, perhaps. Queens isn't that great. Getting the only place that has a bar when booze is needed for so many jobs is a really cool benefit. But I could basically rip Queens from purple if I go to Calvary Cemetery. And I think I will do that. I will do that. So, at this point, I get to discard 2 cards. I'll discard my 2 shakedowns. They're just not that great as jobs. No, I discard 1 shakedown and 1 gun. And then I get to take a 5. And purple gets to do the same. It is purple's turf after all. Purple's going to discard a 1 and a 2 and take a 5. That is red's turn finished. Purple. I mean, they don't want to lose queens when it's about to become even more valuable. Yeah, we're gonna take the cannoli. That's gonna be spend a gun, get $3. I get to gun down an enemy thug, and I'm gonna do this. That's purple done. So, red doesn't get a lot from pushing this, so I think shaking down is the next best thing to do. So we're gonna do booze, gun, Monet, shake down. Nice try, game. That goes in there, and I get 5 buccarinos. And I get to do the front of anyone business. I don't have any jobs, but if I took a gun, then I could take the cannoli, but then he gets a gun. I think I'm just going to suitcase the 5 in Chelsea. So that's that. Purple. A shakedown there for them makes some pretty good sense too, so I think they're going to do that. So that's going to be blood money, goons, Visky, what? What did I do? I took money out of my hand instead of whiskey because I'm a potato. They get $5 and they also get to visit a business that is occupied by a thug. I'm going to visit the meats building because then I get to suitcase a card and I get $2 more. Which is pretty good. So, red can't complete a job. Red has to use a thug. He's going to come over here and suitcase the remaining 5. So, purple. If purple got some whiskey, they could complete Can't Refuse. But that wouldn't do me any good now because he has nothing in his bag. So I'm going to go to the meats building. I'm going to collect $2 and suitcase of 5. I am then going to go to the Federal Reserve. Oh no, red could do it too. No he can't, he doesn't have any cards. I'm going to discard 2 2s and a 3. To get a 3 and a 5. And last but certainly not least, I guess go to the Upper West Side so I can get the whiskey I need for next turn. That seems good. And do note, by the way, that the limit for this Act 3 is 6 cards, not 5. So I won't have to discard anything. family business Dunzo. Now we're going to check on things here. Wall Street is 2 purple, 1 red, so I can just choose not to add anything, and that's fine. 2 is 1 purple, 1 red, which means basically control doesn't change. Because I would just keep control there. Number 3 is the Upper East Side. This could be purple. Purple is out of markers. The question would then become, where would I take a marker from? I think I'll take 1 from Wall Street, because I've already got 2 there, and it's more important to me to take control of the Upper East Side. Queens is actually going to red, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens sometimes. So Queens is going to be a little bit more powerful for red next turn. Number 5 is, of course, the Upper West Side. That's going to stay purple. Midtown has 2 red and only 1 purple. That becomes red. And Chelsea remains red. So we'll put another marker on top. Okay. Next we can do some bribery. So, here's the thing. Purple has a whole shit ton of turfs. So many turfs right now. Purple would gain $25 by playing this ally. He'd only ever get to play him once. Oh, sorry, wait a minute. He gets picked back up at the beginning of the step, and red takes theirs back. So, purple would get $25 right now. Which is obviously an incredible amount of money to gain. So basically spending anything that's less than 25 makes sense. Because I'll get it back with interest. However, that does mean I'll be able to suitcase those cards. And this is incredibly important here. All but 2 of your cards go to the Dawn at the end of the game. That is not ideal. So, buying this card is worthwhile, but not if it cripples the rest of my strategy. So, I will spend a fair bit, though. I will go ahead and spend $10. So, what is red thinking? Well, red would only get $10 from this card, which is obviously not super helpful. So spending $10 doesn't make sense, right? It would basically be a wash, except it would be even worse than a wash. Yeah, I don't think there's any benefit for red in going for this. Like, $1 doesn't hurt, in case purple randomly decides not to bid, but I think that was a pretty easy choice. Purple's like, hey, I bid 10. Red's like, hey, I bid 1. These go back to the pile, and purple claims this ally. And red's dollar just goes back into their suitcase. Okay, purple's got to make some discards. 2 3s. I'm gonna get 5 5s, so I don't feel particularly rushed. If I'm being honest with you. Okay. That is the tribute to the Dawn phase completed. Let us collect our people. We also unlock our 3rd and final family member, the family heir. So, I don't know who's going to win this game at this point. It's a lot tighter than it seems. Because, yes, purple's got a lot of turf, and that could be a pretty big advantage at the end of the game because it's part of endgame scoring. However, It's going to depend a lot on which jobs purple can come away with. If purple can get some jobs, help them suitcase extra money, I think that's going to be quite big for them. Oakley, dokily, schmokily do. We do not bring out a new ally. Right? Let me look at interact. I'm pretty sure we don't put in... Yeah, because there's no... Yeah, so there is no act. This doesn't change because nobody bought a public job. So we advance to Act the 4th. And we're back up here. Queens is going to get a new business. And that business is... Ooh, Polk's Hobby Shop. We haven't talked about narcotics yet because they haven't come up before. Narcotics are a wild card and count as anything. That's pretty good. So, Red desperately needs jobs. There's no two ways about it. They have to get jobs. So I think coming over to here makes a lot of sense. No, it doesn't. Because I'd be suitcasing nothing, essentially. I need so many things right now. It's not even funny. I could get a gun so I could take the cannoli. That seems good. Let's do that. Red. Let's play the police evidence man. No, not yet. You need the jobs. Because you need to know what to do with your police person. So you're going to go there. That's going to get you 1 blood money. 2 jobberinos. And you can suitcase your 5. So shakedown and muscle in are both very good. Okay. Red's going to pay their ally. And they're going to take $2 for that. That's some good root beer. Right. I'm kind of tempted to grab another job because there is a job that lets you basically suitcase like 3 cards. If I got that after I played Hollywood Producer, that would be massive. I think it's worth the risk to try again. So give me $2 and another job. And I did not get the job I wanted. Unfortunate, but okay. Red needs something to do. I mean, gunning down their person here isn't a terrible idea. And it would get me, what is it, $3? Yeah. But I need money. Or I need to start taking territories. Suitcasing 2 is useless to me because I don't have anything to suitcase, really. Getting over here does make some sense. No, I need more guns. Because if I get more guns, I can use the car bomb instead. And that could really fuck up purple. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to get $1 redo, $3 reduce. I get to suitcase and I get a gun. I'm gonna suitcase my 3. Dunzo. This is driving me up the damn wall, game. I want that job to suitcase a bunch of cards, but I don't think it makes sense right now. But I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm such a sucker. This is such a stupid idea. And I didn't even get the card I wanted. I am a potato. Okay, red wants another gun, so they're going to get it by going here. So he gets a gun, a job, and to suitcase is 1 and is 2. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I could just muscle in to get yet another job card. I do have the money right now. Let's do it. Because I really want that suitcase 3 cards thing. So that's going to get me $4. And I can just move in and just go right back where I was. And it's going to go... Whip. Take $2 and a job card. That's not a bad card to have, but it's not what I wanted. I think I'm getting trapped, and red playing the car bomb now doesn't make a ton of sense. I'd kind of want to wait until I see if purple invests more heavily somewhere. So, I'm going to go up to the pawnbroker. No, I'm not. I mean, I guess some more blood money wouldn't hurt. So I think we're going to go there. That also gives purple blood money. Okay. I've got to start collecting cards so I can start suitcasing them and making lots of money. So I'm going to go ahead now and play my Hollywood producer. I control 5 turfs. That's going to get me 5 $5 cards. That's my turn. Coming here isn't terrible, but it's also not great. Red really wants to try to take turf. Almost more than anything else he could do, he needs turf. Coming over here would give him basically a stranglehold on both the Upper West Side and the Upper East Side. I think that's a good idea, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here. I get 1 whiskey. I get $4. A 1 and a 3, and I get to suitcase a card. I'm going to suitcase $3. Done. So purple wants to get suitcasing pretty hard. She's going to come over to here. He gets $2 and he gets a suitcase of cards. He's going to suitcase one of his 5s. Done. And this is where red starts cackling. I didn't do this on purpose, but I kind of figured this was going to end up happening anyway. And he discards 3 guns to use the car bomb. Which takes down all the enemy figures in 1 turf. Dead, dead, dead. And it also earns him 2 $3 cards. That's a pretty strong play right there. Now these are both wide open for red to do some damage with their final thug. Alright. Now purple's going to go ahead and play. I need to get 2 suitcases in, no matter what else. So we're going to come over to here. And I'm going to double suitcase. And I'm going to get whiskey, which is, you know, not terrible, but is really about the it's really about suitcasing the 2 5s. Okay. So red basically can't do anything except for try to suitcase their last card. So he's going to come over to here and suitcase this 3. And now red is done, which means it's up to purple. Extortion is good, but a shakedown right now is better. So I'm going to play my police evidence manager. I get 5 illegal goods. I'm going to take 2 of each. I'm sorry, I'm going to take 2 guns, 2 booze, and a blood money. Okay, purple is still up. Purple is I'm going to spend 1 blood money, 1 booze, and 1 gun, and he's going to complete a shakedown. He can go to any one business. He also gets $5. So he's just going to shake down the meats building. Yes, it gets him another 2 he can't do anything with, but it also lets him suitcase another 5. You don't have any cards. No, you do have several cards. I don't have any money, which means I can't do muscle in. I could do extortion. But I mean, putting them into my hand doesn't help. Like, it helps me in that it hurts them. So that's not nothing. But I don't gain any real benefit from that. Like, oh boy. I mean, it does kind of another job completed. That's something to consider. But can't refuse is just better. Because I get to put it in my suitcase. So I gotta spend a whiskey on that. That's fine. Or it has to pick a card to discard. He's just gonna discard the booze. Like, it's not worth anything to him anyway. And you can't suitcase booze. I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't do anything. Oh, and he gets $3. My hand is getting a little out of control, guys. He can't complete any other jobs. So I guess he's just going to try to suitcase some more stuff. Any other place would go to suitcase 2. That's suitcase 1. That's suitcase 1. That's suitcase 1. That's suitcase 2. He's going to suitcase 2 more 5s. He then draws a whiskey. Cool. Alright, so that's it for the family business phase. That's what I thought. So here's one good thing when we tribute to the Dawn. If we as long as there's money left in our hands for the last two, they go into our suitcase. Basically, we get 2 free suitcases. However, now we do Turf War. So Wall Street. That's 1 red, no purple. That goes to red. Brooklyn is 1 of each. That means nothing happens, basically. Upper East Side. That definitely goes to red. Queens stays with red because there's nobody else went there. 5 is the Upper West Side. That's 1 of each, so nothing changes there. Chelsea is 2 of each, so nothing changes there. And Midtown is 3 red, 1 purple, so that's that. Okay. So now people... Oh, well, sorry, we'll worry about that for endgame score. We skip this phase. There is no one to bribe. So we discard down to 2 cards each. I'm just going to discard down to a 3 and a 1. 3 and a 2. I'm just going to put them in there, and then everything else just gets flat out discarded. I know I could have done extortion. It would have hurt my opponent without really helping me, though. Frankly, I don't know why I'm not just, like, deleting these, because it's not like it matters. But here we are. Extorsione. Okay, now we're over to red, who's going to do his. He's going to discard his blood money and his job and put $4 in his suitcase. Okay. So now, we go right to the end of the game. And now we get some endgame bonuses. So first things first, we're going to do turf dominance for each turf. So Wall Street has 1 red, 1 purple. Red was on top. That's $5 for red. I'm going to switch to this mode so I can put things in both suitcases. Because it's whoever has the most markers or whoever is on top. Brooklyn has 2 purple, no red, so that's going to pay out as $5 for purple. Just goes right into the suitcase. Upper East Side has 1 red, 1 purple, 2 red, so that's $5 for the Upper East Side to red. Queens has 1 red, 2 purple. So even though red's on top, purple gets the bonus because it had the most. Upper West Side is purple, then red, then red. So that's 5 for red. Midtown is red, then purple. That's the same, but red was on top. So that's 5 more for red. And lastly, Chelsea is red, then purple, so that also goes to red. Now we take the jobs out of our briefcases, our suitcases. So that's you, 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 and you, and we're going to stack these up into categories by color. So that was 6 jobs completed by red. Everything else in there is money. Purple, on the other hand, has 1, 2, 3. Here, just take them all out. Okay, that's gonna be bleu. No game, no. Okay, and now we're going to check each of the four job categories. Whoever has the most gets $5. Okay, starting with blue, red had 2, purple had 2, so we both get $5. That's 2 yellow versus 1 yellow. Only red gets that bonus. 2 white versus 2 white. They both get the bonus. And only purple completed a green job all game. They completed 3 of them in point of fact. So that's 5 for purple. Okay, now we take all the money out of the briefcases and we count it up. Whoever has the most dollarinos is the victor. So let's get 9, 9. Wait, what? Oh, I saw what I dealt it, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. What the fuck? Game, just stop. I am pretty sure that purple won this game, but I'm not convinced they did. Red got a lot of bonuses at the end there, and that may be enough to carry him over. I think it's going to be tight either way, though. I don't think purple's going to win by like a billion. I think purple's going to win, but it's going to be you know what? Game. Die. Thank you. And I'll tell you this right now, if purple does win, it's because purple got the Hollywood producer. I mean, that ally is borderline broken, depending on when you get them. Okay. So we have purple final score. So that's 13 times 5 is, golly. Brain, please, 65. That's not right. Is it? 2 times 5 is 15. 60, 75. 75 and 12 is 87. 87 and 6 is 93. Five times 11 is 55. 55 and 18 is going to be 73. 73 and 10 is 83. 83 and 4 is 87. And there we go, my friends. Let me quickly bust out the calculator, just so I'm not like a complete potato. It is under, no, components, tools, calculator. So I just want to make sure that I'm not inadvertently, like, costing somebody by counting incorrectly. So that's going to be 5 times 13. 65, so actually I was wrong. Plus 3 times 4. Plus 2 times 3 equals 822. What the shit? Oh, let's try that again. It's gonna be 5 times 13 plus 3 times 4 plus 2 times 3. Why is it coming with 822? What? Oh, is this like a basic calculator so it doesn't follow order of operations correctly? That could be it. Because it should not be definitely 822. It should be 5 times 13 plus 3 times 4. What are you doing? Are you drunk, calculator? Or does it just keep saving it? That might be the issue. Okay, 13 times 5. You know what? We'll just do it by hand here. 65. 65 and 12 is 77. 77 and 6 is 83. So now let's do red. Because actually red might have won the game. I'm glad I took the time to double check my math here. Okay. So 5 times 11 is definitely 55. I'm pretty certain about that. 55 and 18. 55 plus 18 is 73. 73 and 10 is 83. 87. Yeah, red actually won. Because I can't do math. But yeah, red actually ended up winning by $4. That's really interesting. And I think as purple, I got so focused on trying to suitcase as many of those cards from the Hollywood producer that I could. But here's the real big kicker. If I hadn't done that, I would have been utterly destroyed by red. Even though purple did way more jobs. And that's why one of the most important things to remember about this game. And, I mean, I've mentioned this a couple times already. And you're probably like, Abby, how stupid do you think I am? It's an area control game. The most important thing is to control areas. Giving your opponent bonuses is not the end of the world, but controlling the right place at the right time is what wins you the game. But this is still a very neck and neck game. Very, very tight. And it was a very enjoyable game. Some final thoughts about the Godfather Corleone's Empire. First of all, this game is kind of hard to find. I don't even remember how we got it. I think it was at a game store. We happened to go by one day. They happened to have it. But it's a game I'd wanted for a long time because I love The Godfather. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's also a very good book as well. Check it out. And I like area control. It's not my favorite mechanic, but it's up there. And so combined, it's really good. The theme is great. I don't think there's enough violence to really fit the theme. And that's fine. But I do think it reduces how thematic it is a little bit. The suitcases is brilliant. Because if you're really smart, you can keep an eye. Okay, I just remember my opponent putting 5 5s into the suitcase in the past few turns. He's got at least $25 in there. Is really clever. The one thing I think does kind of suffer with 2 players is I think bribing for allies is a little bit less meaningful because there's only one out there. But on the other hand, that might be because I played 2 players with 1 guy, aka me, and so that could be a significant issue as well. I don't know which way to point in that particular direction. Narcotics just don't play a big role in the game in 2 players because only red businesses make them. And if we take a quick look here, you'll notice that, yeah, 2 of them do make them. Oh, look at that one. But you look at blue. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. Well, these are all very interesting businesses. Don't get me wrong on that. But narcotics just don't play a big role in the game because the only way to get narcotics is from red tier business. Unless I'm missing something. Like, there's like a way to buy them. But I'm pretty sure... Yeah, that's the only place you can do it. If I had one criticism of this game, one deep, meaningful criticism, there's not enough varieties of job. And with bigger player counts, like something like the drive-by shooting becomes really important and cool. But you're usually not going to bother with that in a normal game. Oh my god, I couldn't take the cannoli. I would have won the game if I... No, I wouldn't have. I still would have come up second. But it's like... Can't refuse is cool. Muscle in, fun. This is the one I was hoping for. Backroom deal. But muscle in, extortion, shakedown, muscled out, backroom deal, intimidation. This is just awesome. I just wish there was more variety in the jobs. I don't know if they did an expansion to this game or not. If they did, I would hope one of the things they would add in is more job cards, because I think that's what holds this game back from being truly spectacular. And again, that's not as big a deal if you have multiple players. Like at 5 players, where there's 4 public jobs and everyone's got 2 in their hands, that's just more engaging play. There's also more places to go with bigger player counts. But let me be clear that in this game scales really well. I think it's a very enjoyable game with 2 players, and it does it without dummy players. Which a lot of area control games have to do. It's just the way they do things. And I think it is a mistake to only use that as the only trick in your bag. It works buttery smooth in Power Grid, which I guess is an area control game if you think about it. I never thought of it that way, but I guess it is. But I also won't deny that Power Grid is way more fun with more than 2 people. It's an amazing game at 2, is Power Grid. And I'll play it any day of the week. But it's better with more people because the auction is more interesting. Same thing here, I think. It would be curious to see what would happen if we played the game with 5 players and everyone's bidding for the allies. Because you only ever get 1 bid. It's a secret bid. So you have to decide, this is what getting an ally is worth to me. Which is very interesting. But yeah, that is The Godfather. Corleone's Empire. Next, in 2 weeks, we're going to be playing Tiny Epic Pirates, which is a very lovely little game. I think you'll enjoy that as well. But until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day. And I'm going to leave you one final gift. I'm not going to try to do a Marlon Brando impression, but I will flip the table. Ooh, look at those rotations. Nice.